You know what's funny? Most people think starting with nothing is the worst possible position, but I've lived long enough to understand something most people never do. Zero isn't empty. Zero is clean. Zero means nobody can take anything from you. Zero means every single dollar you earn from this moment forward is pure progress. If I woke up tomorrow with absolutely nothing, no money in my bank account, no assets, no connections, just my mind and my two hands, I wouldn't panic. I'd smile because I know something most people don't. The game isn't rigged against you when you start with nothing. It's actually designed for you to win if you follow the right steps. So let me walk you through exactly what I'd do if I started 2026 with $0. Not theory, not motivational fluff. A real step-by-step plan I'd personally follow to build real wealth from the ground up. And I'm going to be honest about the timeline, the sacrifices, and the mindset shifts it requires. Because the truth is, most people don't fail because they lack opportunity. They fail because they're following advice from people who never actually started from zero. The first thing I'd do is get crystal clear on what zero really means, because there's a huge difference between having $0 and being worth zero. If you're watching this right now, you already have assets more valuable than money. You have time, you have attention, you have the ability to learn. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American has about 5 hours of leisure time every single day. That's 35 hours a week. That's a full-time job's worth of time that most people spend on Netflix, scrolling, and complaining. I'd take those same 5 hours and turn them into my unfair advantage. Day one, my move would be simple. I'd find the fastest legal way to generate cash flow. Not build a brand, not start a podcast, not create a course, cash flow. Because when you're at zero, philosophy doesn't feed you. Money coming in does, and needs to happen fast. I'd focus on real-world arbitrage opportunities. That's just a fancy way of saying I'd find things people need done and do them better and faster than anyone else. I'd go straight to Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and local community boards. I'd look for people selling furniture, electronics, or tools cheap because they're moving or need quick cash. I'd buy those items at a fair price, clean them up if needed, take better photos, write better descriptions, and resell them for a profit within 48 hours. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. But here's what actually matters. If I could make even $50 profit per item and do 2 deals a day, that's $700 a week cash in hand. That's $2,800 a month while keeping my schedule completely flexible. Now, most people won't do this because they think it's beneath them. They want to start at the top. They want to be the CEO of their own company on day one. That's ego talking. And ego is expensive when you're broke. I'd rather be humble and liquid than proud and broke. The fastest way to wealth is always through serving others and solving problems they're willing to pay for right now. While I'm flipping items and building cash flow, here's what I'm doing with every dollar. I'm splitting it 3 ways. 50% goes to living expenses. I'm keeping my lifestyle lean. I'm not eating out. I'm not buying new clothes. I'm living like a college student because that's what discipline looks like when you're building. 30% goes into a business growth fund. This is money I'll use to buy inventory, invest in tools, or scale whatever is working. And 20% goes straight into what I call my knowledge account. This is money I spend on books, courses, and learning from people who are 10 steps ahead of me. Here's something most people miss. The fastest way to compress decades into months is to pay for someone else's experience. If I can spend $200 on a course that teaches me a skill that makes me an extra $1,000 a month, that's the best investment I'll ever make. But I'm not buying random courses. I'm strategic. I'm looking for skills with immediate market demand. In 2026, those skills are copywriting, video editing, paid advertising, AI automation, and sales. These aren't sexy, but companies are paying $75 to $150 an hour for freelancers who know how to do these things well. Within 30 days of starting at zero, my goal would be simple. Have $3,000 in cash and one marketable skill that people will pay me for. That's it. Not $1 million business, not a viral social media account, just cash and a skill. Because once you have those 2 things, you've got options. And options are what rich people have that poor people don't. Month 2 is where things get interesting. Now I've got some cash cushion and I've learned a valuable skill. This is where I'd make my first real strategic move. I'd reach out to 10 local businesses and offer to solve one specific problem for free for 30 days. Not I'll do marketing, not I'll help your business. Those are vague. I'd say I'll run Facebook ads for your restaurant and get you 30 new customers this month. If it works, we can talk about me doing it ongoing for a fee. If it doesn't, you owe me nothing. This is called a results-based proposal, and it's how you get clients when you have zero credibility. Most people are afraid to work for free. But here's what they don't understand. You're not working for free. You're buying a case study, a testimonial, and proof that you can deliver results. After 30 days, if I've genuinely helped even 3 of those 10 businesses, I've now got 3 clients who will pay me ongoing and 3 success stories I can use to get 5 more clients. Let's do the math. If I charge each small business $1,500 a month to run their ads or manage their marketing, and I've got 3 clients, that's $4,500 a month. That's $54,000 a year. And I built that in 60 days, starting from zero. No degree required, no fancy office, just solving real problems for real people who have real money. But here's where most people plateau. They get to this point and they think they've made it. They start spending more, they upgrade their lifestyle, they buy a nicer car, and suddenly they're stuck trading time for money forever. I wouldn't do that at this point. I'd live like I'm still broke because now I'm playing a different game. I'm not trying to survive anymore. I'm trying to build assets. Months 3 through 6 would be all about this question. How do I turn my income into equity? Equity means ownership. Ownership means your money works for you instead of you working for money. So while I'm making $4,500 a month from clients, I'm keeping my expenses under $2,000. That leaves me with $2,500 a month to invest over X months. That's $15,000. Now, here's what I wouldn't do with that $15,000. I wouldn't dump it into crypto hoping to get rich. I wouldn't day trade stocks. I wouldn't buy a new truck. I'd invest it into buying attention. That means I'd start creating content, teaching other people the skill I've mastered. I'd post 3 times a week on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, showing local businesses how to get more customers, not motivational content, not follow me for tips, actual education, actual value, walkthroughs, case studies, results. According to social media today, over 60% of small businesses say they struggle with digital marketing. That's millions of potential customers who need exactly what I know. And if I can position myself as the go-to person who actually gets results, not just talks about them, I'm building something that can scale beyond my time. 6 months in, my goal is clear. I want 10 clients paying me $2,000 a month each. That's $20,000 a month in revenue. That's $4 million a year. And I'm still living on less than $3,000 a month, which means I've got $17,000 every single month to reinvest. This is where year 2 begins. At this point, I'm not a zero anymore. I've got cash, I've got clients, I've got skills, and I've got content building my reputation. Now, I make the move most people are too scared to make. I hire someone to replace me. I find someone hungry, someone at zero like I was 12 months ago, and I teach them everything I know. I pay them well, $4,000 a month, and I have them handle the client work while I focus on getting more clients. This is called buying back your time, and it's the most important concept in wealth building. If I can pay someone $4,000 to do work that generates $20,000 in revenue, I've just created $12,000 a month in profit margin while freeing up 40 hours a week of my time. That free time, I'm using it to land 10 more clients. Now we're at $40,000 a month in revenue. I hire a second person, then a third. By the end of year 2, my goal would be to have a lean team of 5 people running a marketing agency doing $75,000 to $100,000 a month in revenue with 30 to 40% profit margins. That's $300,000 a year in personal income. And it all started with flipping furniture on Craigslist. But here's what's important. I'm still not spending that money. Year 3 is about legacy. I'm taking that $300,000 a year and I'm putting it into real assets, index funds, real estate, businesses I can buy that already have cash flow. According to research from Vanguard, if you invest $10,000 a month into the S&P 500 and average a 10% annual return, you'll have over $2 million in 10 years. That's not get rich quick. That's get rich for sure. So let me pull this all together because I want you to understand the psychology behind this plan. Most people think wealth is about having one big break. It's not. Wealth is about making correct decisions consistently over time. It's about living below your means while your means are growing. It's about trading short-term comfort for long-term freedom. If I started 2026 with $0, I'd be wealthy by 2028, not because I got lucky, because I followed principles that have worked for 100 years and will work for 100 more. Find a way to generate cash fast. Learn a valuable skill. Offer to people who need it. Deliver results. Scale by building systems. Invest profits into assets. Repeat. The difference between you and someone stuck at 0 5 years from now isn't talent. It's not luck. It's decision making. So here's what I want you to do right now. Pause this video and ask yourself one honest question. If you started today with exactly what you have, what's the fastest way you could generate $500 this week? Not next year, this week. Write it down, then go do it. Because once you prove to yourself that you can create money on demand, everything changes. Save this video. You're going to want to come back to it. Subscribe if you want more wealth building strategies. And if this hit home for you, share it with one person you know who's ready to stop making excuses and start making moves. The game is wide open. The only question is, are you going to play?